we had made the decision to raise capital to support our growth objectives, we talked to a number of private equity firms, and it was important to us that we find a firm that had actual operating experience and that understood that the path to success isn't necessarily linear. It has bumps in the road, and you'll have highs and lows, and operating people who have built companies and have operating experience know that. And for us, with the partners at Fulcrum, who are ex-operators, that was very appealing. We also found that the chemistry between us and them was very strong. Chemistry to me is a very important ingredient in working with investors. Some investors really have very poor chemistry with their portfolio companies, while others make an effort to make sure they have very good chemistry. And the board is a very important factor to a company like ours, because they help set the plan, the strategy for the company. And it's important that members of the board are getting along, and that the chemistry at the board level is good. And the reason that's important is because that transcends down through the organization. So if the CEO is not getting along with the board, the people that work in the company are going to know that, and it will make the job of building an organization that much more difficult. So when we met the Fulcrum folks, Tom Greer, Jeff Muir, they were great, and right away we felt a connection with them. There were lots of places to go get the money, but if you're looking for qualities beyond the money, that was the reason the fit was so good for us. And that theory has, over the last nearly 3 years now, has proven to be a very good plan of action. What they provided to us that was really good is just guidance in general. They have introduced us to other companies that help provide more insights for us. They were instrumental in helping us add more talent to the board. When they invested, we restructured the board. We actually changed out a couple of board members who were very good board members, but the Fulcrum people were instrumental in bringing in additional talent that had more industry knowledge, better connections, and the kind of support we felt like we would need. And so they played a key role in making that happen. The culture of the company is very collaborative, and it's been collaborative within the team. But once they became partners, I think that collaboration extended even further because they're very collaborative. If you go to our board meetings, there's not a lot of tension or stress in the air, and if I walk away from a board meeting, or any of my senior team walks away from a board meeting, and they're upset or they feel tension, that's going to transcend through the organization, and that's going to make the working environment in the organization worse. It's more productive to be collaborative. And one thing Fulcrum does really well is they really don't try to interfere in the way you're running the business. They do provide guidance and counseling, which I appreciate very much. I'm looking for all the expertise I can to make sure we build a successful company, but they're very careful about that and very thoughtful about the way they do it. And when they do interact with any of my employees that are at lower levels, they're very good at that, very understanding, very supportive, kind of exude confidence in the company. So I appreciate that about them. They were definitely the right choice. When I get asked from people who think they want to become entrepreneurs, the first thing I'll tell them to do is don't do it, because I know what it takes. It's a lot more than raising money, especially if you're trying to do something innovative and creative in your industry. For example, in the pharmaceutical world and in healthcare in general, it's not a static environment. It's a dynamic environment. So whatever business you're trying to build, you have to make sure you understand that part of the business really well, and then try to work in sync with the way the industry is changing, because it is constantly changing. It is in a state of change all the time. If it's not changing from new regulations, it's changing from the insurance payers, changing the rules. There are different ways it is. So you've got to be able to adapt quickly, and that's often very hard to do. And the bigger you get, the harder it is to move quickly. I would say for people contemplating becoming an entrepreneur, make certain you've got the right talent around you, people that have creative minds. Make certain you've got the right investors partnered with you so that you're working in sync and collaboratively together, because that's what it takes for success, especially in a dynamic market like healthcare. We're in a market where most people are failing. And I think if I have to pick a great accomplishment of my team, it's the creativity they've come up with and how they were able to have the vision to prepare us so that we could be successful. And that is happening. It is proving out itself, not just in our growth, but in the numbers. Our financial performance has continued to get better and better. We are producing very good profitability for the segment that we're in. The working environment in the company there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of hardworking people, but there's a lot of excitement, and I think the morale is at a very, very good place. So all that is because things are coming together and working very well. It's not me, it's not one individual, it's everybody working together.